Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
There is a war on nature. Dom Phillips was killed trying to warn you about it. Bruno Pereira highlighted the ravaging of the rainforest and abuse of human rights. Dom told his story. We should honor them. Dom Phillips and Bruno Pereira have been killed in an undeclared global war against nature and the people who defend it. Their work mattered because our planet, the threats to it and the activities of those who threaten it matter. That work must be continued. The front lines of this war are the Earth's remaining biodiverse regions, the forests, wetlands and oceans that are essential for the stability of our climate and planetary life support system. The integrity of these systems is under attack from organized crime and criminal governments who want to exploit timber, water and minerals for short-term, often illegal profits. In many regions, the only thing standing in their way is indigenous communities and other traditional forest dwellers, supported by civil society organizations, conservation groups and academics. My friend Dom knew how important this story was. It is why he took a year off to research a book, How to Save the Amazon, and it is why he took the risk of traveling to the bandit territory of the Javari Valley with Bruno, who was one of Brazil's most effective, courageous and threatened forest defenders. It was to have been a book for everyone, accessible and useful, looking at solutions as well as problems. That was typical of Dom, whose journalism was always aimed at making the world a fairer, more accountable and enlightened place. To my mind, this made him a 21st century war correspondent as well as a witness to a crime that probably led to his death. Dom was no activist. He was a journalist's journalist, who wanted to find out what was happening and share it with everyone who might be affected. In this case, all of us. If anything positive can come from the mind-numbingly horrendous news, it should be for more journalists to cover this frontline, especially those regions controlled by leaders aligned with criminal interests. Dom knew the threat posed by the president of Brazil, Jair Bolsonaro, who has encouraged illegal logging and mining, dismissed indigenous land rights, attacked conservation groups, and slashed the budgets and personnel of forest and indigenous protection agencies. Shortly after Bolsonaro won the first round of the 2018 Brazilian presidential election, Dom shared his fears about the fate of the Amazon in a WhatsApp message. This is a very dark and worrying period and it's only going to get worse, he wrote to me. My sense is that it is also going to become more dangerous for journalists. But his real fear was for defenders living on the edge of the areas of the Amazon where criminals were trying to encroach on indigenous territories and conservation zones. Dom was sure a second-round victory would give thugs a green light to step up their assault. If he wins, what will living here be like? It's like carte blanche to attack anyone his mob disagrees with, he warned. Bolsonaro's election led Dom to focus more of his work on the rainforest and its defenders. Separating the personal and the professional is impossible. Dom the individual was as important as Dom the journalist. He was much loved by his family and friends. I met him in 2012, soon after I first arrived in Brazil, and we immediately hit it off. He helped me adjust to my new home and infected me with his passion for Brazilian music, art, politics and nature. Already in the country for 5 years, Dom, it seemed, was knowledgeable about just about everything. And what he did not know, he was curious about. His interest in the world was like a mental searchlight forever scanning the horizon. Whether in a press conference or a bar, if he thought someone had anything interesting to say, he would fix them with his piercing blue eyes and begin a gentle but relentless interrogation. We connected through Bowie and Bjork, and a love of nature and outdoor sports. Scrolling back through WhatsApp archives, many of the stories and pictures Dom shared are of spectacular views or wildlife he encountered, rays, whales, turtles and sharks seen during stand-up paddle outings around the coastline of Copacabana. Capucins, marmosets and toucans encountered on hillside walks around Rio de Janeiro. With a group of like-minded friends, we made weekend hikes through the mountains between Teresopolis and Petropolis, climbed the Pedra d'Argavie to enjoy its stunning view of Rio and trekked up the slopes of Itatiaia for its stunning panoramas. More frequent were the bike rides. Early weekday mornings, we'd start the day with a cycle up to the Corcovado, a lung-busting activity that became known as Christ on a Bike. Despite a prodigious work rate, he found time for his friends. At a tough moment for me, Dom's prescription for the blues was a Spotify playlist of Walker Brothers,